In the wilderness, the woman took off her undershirt and then quickly pulled down her pants, but then she put on her heavy boots, got up and warmed up, and finally stepped into the newly melted ice water. But as soon as she stepped into the water, she regretted it, and the cold, biting lake water froze her to the bone, and soon her hands and feet froze to death. She had no choice but to swim back to the shore, slapping the cold water away from her body and then jumping to try to warm herself up. Even though the water was freezing cold, the woman didn't give up on the idea of going into the water and soon came up with a brilliant idea. She then picked up a few strong tree roots and placed them neatly side by side, then tore off the bandage from her boyfriend's leg and wrapped the bandage around the roots to make a perfect raft. The woman struggled to lift the raft with great anticipation, but as soon as the raft looked perfect, it fell apart and almost hit her foot, which made her furious. She came to her senses and realized that the only way to call for help was to take out the communicator at the bottom of the lake. Soon after, she made a bold decision. She buttoned up her shirt and wrapped herself tightly around it, then found a dead log to use as a buoy and determinedly stepped out into the freezing water. The woman could not help but shiver when she got into the water, but this time she not only did not flinch, but gritted her teeth and stomped her legs to swim toward the center of the lake. After determining the approximate location of the woman, took a deep breath and plunged headfirst into the cold water of the lake and then dived down when the depth of 15 meters when a crashed plane appeared in front of us. The woman swam to the cockpit and tried to take out the communication machine inside, but she never expected that the communication machine had already been nailed to the cabin, so she tried to break it, but it did not move. But the depth of 15 meters quickly suffocated the woman. She grabbed the 2 bags of parcels in the cabin and finally managed to swim out of the water before she suffocated, but the cold water of the lake had already frozen her. The woman grabbed the dead wood and wrapped the parcels around both ends of the dead wood, then half laying on the water, she swam toward the shore, but suddenly she heard a strange sound coming from the shore. She turned her head to look at the scene in front of her. Eyes made her stared at an adult brown bear suddenly appeared on the shore. Of its sensitive sense of smell quickly found the boyfriend's body, sniffing and looking. Obviously it is out to forage for food, but the brown bear does not seem to be interested in the body. Soon left. After the bear left, the woman climbed ashore with great difficulty, and now the first thing she had to do was to get rid of the body of her boyfriend. Otherwise it would probably attract other wild animals again. So she dragged his body into the forest and buried it briefly, then returned to the campsite to dispose of the contents of her backpack. She had to find something useful in order to survive in the wilderness. It was like opening a blind box, but the first package was nothing but computers and data cables. Soon she opened another package, which was wrapped in a mysterious red bag, and when she tore it open, wads of money fell out. The woman looked at the banknotes in her hand. She developed a bold idea.